Hi, this is Dave Bennett from theme2html.com. We're still on the landing page expansion project. We're going to be on this for a long time. And let me see, in this video, I'm going to cover a couple of things that have been coming up. One is, how important are AdWords? Like, if you're showing up organically and you can get all your clicks for free, don't you want to drop your AdWords campaigns? Really good question. I've been getting a bunch of other questions too, so let me just sort of group some concepts really fast to make sure certain things make sense a certain way. Let's start with this. Which deal should you take? Let's say you could loan somebody $1,000 and get $1,500 back, whatever, a week later. Or you could loan someone, this is another guy over here, guy B. You could loan him $1,000 and get $1,250 back. In other words, you make 500 profit here, 250 there. So it's obvious which deal you should take, apples to apples, right? If everything else is the same, you should take the $1,500 deal. But if you have $2,000, you should take them both, right? Is one deal worse than the other? Not from a profit point of view. Ask anyone in accounting or finance how they should interpret that. And the answer is this. If you have $2,000 and you're good with this guy for the $1,500 deal and this guy's arguing with you and you can only do $250 with that guy, if you say, fine, I'm not going to do the deal with you, mark that down in your accounting books as negative 250 profit earned this month. In other words, subtract off 250 because it's gone. That's the way to think about AdWords. That's the way to think about organic results. That is guy A and B. You're going to put some amount of effort here, some amount of effort there. You're going to get a return here, you're going to get a return there. And all these guys out there, my question and yours is, how common is it that people are using both of those angles? Because are they? Well, they should be, right? Literally, any profit you fail to make is lost money. So when you lose an opportunity you can take, the question becomes, what about guys who are in full swing, small and large? Okay, well, to take a good look at that, let's take a look at this. And this is the last thing I want to say as a second point of view, because I just wrote down a bunch of notes. Okay, here's a really good question. Would you rather be the top guy on the page? Say, there's like 600 results for this particular keyword, and it's after hours. It's like 7:15 right now. I don't know why I don't have my light on yet. It's going to get dark here right in the middle of this recording. What do I know? And so all the guys who would normally be offering their goods now, they went home from work. So they've got their ads turned off, most likely, or they're put on, like a low ball. So they're actually showing up at the bottom. They're probably spending a lot less down here after hours than they would be during working hours. That's how important a live call right now when somebody can answer it is, right? If somebody calls in the middle of the night, leaves a voicemail, and you can call them back the next day, that lead is not as strong to a company as if the guy calls now when the company can answer the phone now and that conversation is going to happen now. Their conversions are going to be markedly higher in that case. Having said that, pretend there are a bunch of ads up here, pretend there are a bunch of ads down here, there's still going to be 10 results in the middle. 2 happen to be YouTube. In this particular case, when I refresh, sometimes something different. But anyway, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Plus those 2, that's your 10, right? So I had a keyword like this, probably sell my home or sell my house or whatever it was. And what I did was I said, I took the list down of the 10, not the AdWords guys, the list of the 10 top guys for that keyword, which means for related keywords, they'll be on page 1 or 2, maybe 3 for some, because there are a number of competitors and some, their page might say, sell my home fast, while somebody else that says sell my house fast. And then, this is going to reshuffle the deck anyway for who's on the first page or the second page, keyword by keyword, right? And there you go. So I said this. I said, of the guys who are organically at the top, are any of them running AdWords? Are all of them running AdWords? Or are most of them running AdWords? Let's take a look. Because they're up there. Are they making that two-handed deal where they're getting income here and income there? Let's take a look. So I grabbed Spyfu charts for everything I could. They didn't have one for all the companies on the front page. They had them for like 8. And so I went ahead and went to page 2 and grabbed 1 or 2 more, which is the same as page 1 on a related keyword. I think you get the point. Let's just take a look at these guys because it's interesting to understand. Okay, buckbuyshouses.com. And so here he is showing up organically. We've just got him for an estimated 3 clicks for the month. Okay, maybe only 3, right? So that's not a lot. And yet in AdWords, here he is, and he may have to be, right? But anyway, let's take a look at the meaning of this. So let's put apples to apples and just come up with a number to try to make a point. Let's say that it takes a bunch of clicks to make a sale, and then you get paid at the end of that series of clicks. You get your sale. So let's say when you break it down, every good click gets you closer and closer to the sale. And so let's say each click is worth $10 for stupid simplicity, right? Let's just say $10, okay? Each click is $10 closer to the goal of the sale. Fine. So this makes it easy to understand the numbers. So this guy got $30, okay, income for the month, and he paid nothing. Do not think of this as money spent. This is an estimated SEO, monthly SEO click value. That's saying this. If you were paying for clicks organically compared to the ads that are normally above that, okay, then what would the position of the ad be? What would you be paying for that position? Starting with the top ad on the page being number 1, then the next ad being number 2, next ad 3, and then you got your Google Map locations, and then you got organics down low, where fewer people are going to get to them, right? Which is one of the most important concepts. Now, so that's $30, but didn't spend anything to get it, okay? Now here's 336, right? But he's paying like what? A little over, I don't know, $2 a click. Looks like it to me. A little over $2 a click, 2.25 maybe. All right. But if you do the math, that would be like 3,360 minus 742. So what is that? Something in the neighborhood of 2,500. That's 2,500 on top of the 30 that he was able to get organically. Okay. Of course, you might say, what if all of this could be over here? Well, let's just look at other companies and see what their realistic results are like. So here's another one. Again, these are the guys I took who were ranking on the front page. They didn't have an AdWord on there necessarily. They may not have had an AdWord on there at all. In this case, this guy probably didn't. Take a look at this. Estimated monthly SEO clicks, 155. So let's just call that 1,550 of income for the month. Okay, just dumb numbers here. Again, he did not spend anything here. So you got 1,550. And then nothing going on over here. So you got 1,550. Not really enough to live on, you know, according to our numbers. And one other thing I want to point out, notice how much organic clicks leap all over the place. Do you think that the onus of that, the cause of it, the responsibility for it, the onus, is lying on the shoulders of the fellows with the website, or the way Google makes algorithmic changes on a daily basis? Or, and this is one thing people always forget, that your position is being changed by virtue of the fact that your competitors are fighting hard to rise, okay? And then sometimes overdo it and drop. And then you're fighting hard to rise. And everyone's doing that against everyone. So there's a lot of organic shuffle, right? Matter of fact, keep in mind that there's always a lot of organic shuffle, unless you're at the bottom of the scale. Okay, so here you go. They'd be making $15.50 and spending nothing, but look at that organic shuffle. So if you had a target to meet every month, you know how scary it must be each month when you don't know what's going to happen the next month, or how, you know, as a month unfolds and you're thinking, good Lord, look, and then you're like, oh my God, thank God we're rising again. Then you're like, no, we dropped back down. Oh no, we dropped down even worse. Oh, we came back up. And it's a combination of what you do right, the way Google's changing the algorithms, and what your competitors are doing, all bundled together. Organic clicks are great, but they're like icing on the cake. You're going to get thicker bites of icing over here, thinner bites over there, but just kind of keep that in mind. Now let's look at some more guys. This is cool, 72% organic clicks. What are we seeing? Estimated monthly SEO clicks, okay? 1.6 thousand. So let's assume that means 16,000 income for these guys organically. 16,000 for the month. You might say, well, heck, why should he need any more than that? Well, he might want to pay employees. And so maybe 16,000 a month isn't enough. It might not cut it. But let's just take a look at this. If he's spending $1,400, but he's getting $6,230 back, okay? That's like what, 4,750 or 4,800? That 4,800 added to the 16K, okay, that's another 25%, all right? And that kind of falls into this category of 72% versus 25 for this guy, all right? That just helps pay the rent, helps pay the employee's payroll, helps provide extra money for marketing and for growth. Having said all that, again, look at these curves. Organic, we're on a roller coaster ride. You never know if you're going to make the month's payments, payroll, rent, and everything organically. But AdWords, they're not affected by algorithmic changes. They're easier to control. You can reinvest back into them as you improve upon them and build them up. Okay? By the way, there's another thing to notice I'm going to point out. Notice that almost always on AdWords trends, they're going up slow and consistent. Usually if they get really volatile, they go up, they come down, and they kind of don't go anywhere for a while. But when they start to go in a staggered growth state, then they tend to be very, very linear. Okay, there's a really good reason for that we'll understand soon. All right, let me point this out. This is cool. These guys are getting what? 8% organic clicks, pretty low near the schedule, but then they've got this consistent rise, right? Consistent rise for months and months and months. And again, we're still in this month here a little bit. This will probably go a little higher by the time the month's over. Well, 2,850 organically, but then again, $34,000, right? That's 3.4 thousand times 10, our whole proverbial $10 per click. 34,000 minus 12,000, 22,000, something like that. 22,000 compared to 2,850. Okay, this is almost 10 times as much money over here. Okay, let's look at the next guy. Same thing now. He made 8,000 this month from organic clicks, and he made 121,000 minus 33,000 is like what? I don't know, 90,000, 88,000 over here. Okay, wow. You know, again, like 10 times as much on the AdWords as on the organic side of the house. Okay. Again, you know, so here's the point I want to make. You know, this is 1,500 bucks, you know, and this is what? You could say another 1,550 minus 350 is 1,200. So he's almost doubling his cash flow between those two, even though he's got 91% organic clicks. And again, a lot of volatility on the organic curve compared to what's probably consistent on the paid curve, although he's got like next to nothing on the paid curve. Okay, here we go. Now we've got this oddball. There's always going to be the oddball. IWillBuyAHouse.com. And he's shooting up full speed. Assuming he's also making 10 bucks a click, that's 3,810 minus 843. Now, when you see a guy leap in and rise like this, first of all, that's not called leaping in and rising hard, right? That's only 843 bucks. So don't let the shape of the curve fool you, right? This is only up to 400 clicks. So this is small, consistent rises because it's 843 after 1, 2, 3 whole cycles, okay? Just to keep it in mind. It's working for them. So anyway, there you go. What now? All right, NW buyers. Again, consistency. All right, consistency to the fact that AdWords is under control. And organics, who knows what's going on? Okay, what do we got? There's some other points I want to make. These guys were a trip. So they had like next to no AdWords at all. They're going like nuts with their organic clicks. But again, crazy volatility. Who knows what that's going to mean? It's pretty much on the higher end though. That's pretty cool. For those of you that would like to know what that means in our case, because we're doing both curves, right? And we're focused on both curves because those are those two deals that we're making, those two opportunity costs and deals that we're making, right? Let me see. I'm just kind of looking over my notes real quick. Yeah, the inching instead of the jumping. And consider, yeah, there's that to make that point too. This is kind of interesting. I'm going to step into that. These guys are doing something similar to what we're doing, and they're having huge numbers as a result organically, and they haven't touched the paid. Okay, but it's still an opportunity cost, right, to not touch the paid. They got to mark some kind of a negative in for all the deals they could be making over here but haven't worked on yet. Something to keep in mind. All right, I was thinking, what about Spyfu? I'll tell you why. I said, what about the big guys? Let me just start here. That Spyfu thing kind of showed up out of order. Let me start with Trulia.com. They got 8.6 million clicks. If we assumed that they made 10 bucks a click for some reason, and I don't know, they're a different company anyway, that'd be 86 million, okay, in a month. 86 million in a month. Well, then we've got 195,000. So this is like another 2 million. 2 million minus just 137,000. 1 million, or I'm sorry, 2 million would be like 1,860,000. Who's going to turn away 1,860,000 a month in additional revenue? That's per month. I don't care if you're making 86 million a month. If you can pull this off too, why wouldn't you, right? And especially since this helps fund that. 2 income streams, both positive cash deals, of course you should do them. And even there, look at this, even at their level of the game, they have huge, volatile, fluctuating swings in their organic clicks. Now they're big enough, I'm sure it doesn't matter to them as much, but even though this curve looks like it's nothing, that's by comparison to this massive organic shuffle, right? Fact of the matter is we're still talking about like 140,000 budgeted, and it is a consistent curve. It helps ensure you meet your targets each month, right? These guys, bad website, really lousy, old-fashioned, and this may be taking a nosedive. It looks like they took one earlier, and then they flipped up. Could very well be Google. I mean, fluctuations this huge, except it's not that huge because there aren't that many clicks they're getting. Well, there you go. That just explains it. I mean, this graph is blown up because there aren't that many clicks they're getting. But these guys are probably, maybe they added schema or something and it just didn't stick. I mean, their website's old, and so that sucks. What else? Zillow. We all know Zillow. Again, you could say that's 271 million for the month, just our dumb numbers, right? And then you could say this is what? 356,000 would be 3,560,000 minus $315,000, right? 3,500,000 minus 315,000 is still over 3 million for the month. That's 36 million plus for the year. There's a lot you can do with that. So everyone is paying for AdWords. Oh, the thing I wanted to point out was about Spyfu. Where are they? I thought, what about Spyfu themselves? You know, we're tracking them. Didn't I have that in here or not? Spyfu ad example? That is Spyfu ad example, so I knew that there was a Spyfu ad. Did I not set the, nah? Well, that's funny. Let me just see. Spyfu. I just thought, what about them, man? I mean, they're on top of everything. They're taking all this data in. They're the ones that can study and research and maximize on everything. They know, you know, what their competitors are up to, what they're up to, where the clicks are coming from. And so I thought, maybe all they're doing is organic clicks. And then I thought, organic clicks. And then I thought, wait a minute. Maybe they can't track their own AdWords, just the way their system is set up. Or maybe they're hiding their AdWords information. Well, I have no idea. But I thought, well, I'm getting mixed signals here. Are they doing ads? And then I just did one quick check, and that's what I threw up here. What I look for? Spyfu. Just for the sake of a branded keyword I knew they must be on, if they were. Sure enough, ad. I just put this here now. I mean, literally, I did this search like 5 minutes ago. You know, go look. So there they are as an ad. There they are organically. And there's SEMrush, obviously using Spyfu as one of their keyword variations, right, to be competitive. Isn't that funny? And so I would not doubt, and that's the point I want to make, even Spyfu, with all the technology of studying all this stuff and mapping it out, even then, they are spending like probably $12,500 a month to get something like 5,400 clicks, and you can bet that it's worth it. Okay, I wouldn't doubt. All right, that was, the last point I want to make to wrap this up. Like I said, campaigns inch up instead of jump up. I'll explain that in the next recording. And the last point I want to make, why AdWords, if you can go again. Yeah, exactly. Oh, yeah. So I had said earlier, I want to make this point final. Okay. Which would you rather? Be the top guy getting 1,000 clicks a day, or be all 10 of the top guys organically getting 100 clicks each? Now, that's not a trick question. Either way, you're getting 1,000 clicks a day. Where do you make more money? If you're the top guy getting 1,000 clicks a day, or if you're the top 10 guys getting 100 clicks each? Okay, the answer is the top 10 guys getting 100 clicks each. Why? Because people window shop. If you're the top guy and 1,000 clicks come your way, that doesn't mean 1,000 sales. That means many of those people are going to compare you to these guys here, because they'll pick from front page results. Justification for multiple websites is increased ROI. The more of the front spots you can be on any keyword, right? The more of the websites you can be, right? By far, the more ROI you get out of it. And now I want to make this other point too, real quick. What if you did that with AdWords? You know, different companies doing that with AdWords? Yes, no, yes. Here's why. No, yes, no. You got to think about it. So if you set up different websites and then you ran AdWords for each of them, okay, and then you went for the same keywords, you got to think about what that means. You're going to be bidding against yourself in AdWords on all those auctions. You're going to keep running up your own costs. One of your websites tries to outbid another one of your websites that tries to outbid it back in a microsecond, until one of them hits max CPC. Then you think, oh, I think I have an idea then. Intentionally set the max CPC to a different amount for each of those sites, right? That way they can line right up. Now that makes a lot of sense. Except it's also against Google's AdWords terms and conditions that one company is intentionally multiple websites. However, they could be different websites by different guys run through the same AdWords campaign manager. So, you know, it becomes funny gray area when all that comes into play. I will say this, last thing I want to say in this particular video is going to be this point. If you can rank organically and AdWords, okay, let me just, I don't know, pick somebody who's doing that. That's not a very good example though. Okay, then here's the way to rethink it. What is the cost per click for this guy? Dollars over clicks. Where's my handy dandy calculator? That would be $359 divided by 155 clicks. Okay, $2.32 a click, basically. But if you wrap that into your organic results and you say all those free clicks are offsetting my cost, now let's think about it that way, just wrap it all together. So dollars over clicks, right? 359 divided by, what's that? 1,500 plus 155, 1,655 clicks. Oh, now we're down to like 22 cents a click. Okay? Absolutely huge. And if you think about it that way, your AdWords campaigns are pretty cheap. They're cheap. So in other words, think about both working together. All right? And those are the deals. You make the 1,000 for the 1,500 plus the 1,000 for the 250 is 2,000 gets you 750 back for the month, right? If you said, well, I don't want to do the 250, fine. Then you're only doing 1,000 out and 1,500 back. So you made 500 for the month. You lost the other 250. Write it down in your accounting manual as negative 250 profit. That's a cost. You could have taken it. You missed it. That's a cost. There you go. So we are going to play both of these as much as we can and aim for the max profit as we go and get better as we go. And that's it. That's the ride you guys are along with. And as you can imagine, you're going to put out tons of videos covering all the insights and stuff. All right, watch for my next video. I'm going to step into some more really interesting stuff pretty quick. Okay, I hope you guys find this interesting. Again, I'll get back to everybody on the guys who bought. I'll get you taken care of and get your information out to you soon. If you have any particular preferences, let me know what they are. Okay. Otherwise, I'll reach out to you and make sure that we do what you want. We're getting this stuff going, guys. Like another couple of days, we'll have all the tracking codes in and stuff, and we'll be ready to submit sitemaps. Everybody will be approved in, and off we'll go. This is really cool. All right.